camera rolling, and action. Hello, my brother. I want to introduce you to audience. This is Leonard Smith, the author. Welcome, Leonard.
Thank you. Thank you.
I want to say that I'm honored to have you, and I am happy that you had the time to stop by.
Thank you. Likewise.
I know you're a very serious brother and a great writer who has completed 2 books, one titled 49% This and 49% That and 2% Other, the second titled Who Knows God. Can you tell us why you write?
Well, writing is something, is a talent that was bestowed upon me by God, and it was bestowed upon me at a very particular time in my life when it was pretty much all that I had. And what I've been able to do through my books is basically solidify my entire being. You know, everything that I went through from a child up through college and high school. You know, I was able to, each time working on a book, I'm able to put all my emotions, all my energy, everything into that one particular project, and to see the creation of it is, you know, it brings a deep joy and personal satisfaction to my life, and that's why I do it.
Okay. When you speak of faith, are you saying that your writings contain something for all faiths?
I forgot that he was coming with that question. Yes, it is. It is. But you know, faith is based in God. You know, it's a one-to-one thing. And you know, you know, faith is defined as belief in the unseen. But you know, and of course, with religion, it's a belief in God. And as long as you know, someone believes in God, they can find something useful to their personal lives in my work. And it's as simple as that.
All right. Artists can draw inspiration from many things. Are experiences in your book based on someone you know or events in your own life?
A little bit of both. A little bit of both. As I find as I grow as a writer, I'm able to remove myself from my work, and that in itself allows for a higher quality of product and just a better outreach to my potential audience. So, you know, I try at this stage of the game, I try to remove myself from my work, but you know, it is going to inevitably creep in there.
True. Many of us really don't understand just how complicated writing can be. When did you first consider yourself a writer?
Good question. If I had to define a moment in that regard, I would probably say the day that I got my first 100 copies of 49% This, 49% That, and 2% Other, my first book. You know, like I said, that's a good question, because you know, you before that first product is finished, it's just the thought. It hasn't materialized yet, and as the artist, you feel like the entire world is almost against you, and you feel like there's this big deadline that you're up against, and it's all really in your head. But until you manifest those things that's in your head, you really don't have nothing. You know, especially, you know, now that I'm in this business, you know, I come across 10 people every day that's about to write a book, you know, and I might come across 1 per week who's actually wrote a book. So, yeah, if I, you know, to answer your question, the day that I got my first 100 copies of my first book.
Do you have a specific writing style?
My writing style, I do. To answer your question, I do. To define it as a whole, I write based off inspiration. You know, I don't sit down and write unless, you know, the reason is there for the rhyme. You know, in terms of the particulars, I can't give you the particulars because it's sort of like a secret practice, a secret art, you know. And I remember when I was writing my first 2 books, I would only write at night. You know, no matter what I did, no matter how much I focused or tried, I just couldn't do it during the daytime, and it was the strangest thing. And now, you know, by the grace of God, I've grown beyond that, and I'm able to practice my craft in, you know, all areas of life. And my writing style is sort of freestyle. I very rarely write notes or anything like that. I visualize the book in my head. I visualize the scene, the characters, what they were wearing, how old they were they chewing gum, were their hair messed up, and you know, and I get that all in the manuscript. So it's a freestyle thing, but it's a rhyme and a reason, and it's all based on math. All based on math.
Cool. Is there anything you find particularly challenging in your writing?
Yes, and that would be when I do remove myself from the first-hand experience. For instance, in my second book, Who Knows God, I have 4 main characters in there, and 2 of them are females. So, you know, obviously I can't, you know. So, you know, the challenge, it's the natural challenge of trying to empathize with a certain person and put yourself in their shoes. And I'm very detail-oriented in my writing. I like to paint a very vivid, realistic picture. And in order to go there with the writer, you have to have walked in their shoes, in the character shoes, and you have to, you know, it comes down to the most minute detail. And sometimes gathering those details, you have to go to far extremes to sometimes just to get a little itty bitty sentence in your and then on the opposite side, sometimes, you know, it just comes and you got a whole page or a chapter just from the top of your mind. So just gathering that data.
All right.
I don't remember anything about these damn questions. I didn't read them over.
All right. You also speak of family. Where are you from, and just how important is family to you?
Well, I'm from New York. I'm from the city, Harlem. But because of my upbringing and the nature of my upbringing, I'm from Harlem, but I've lived in every borough except for Staten Island. I've spent 7 years upstate New York where I went to college. And with all of those different experiences and being on the move so much in my life, family and my perception of family is very unique. To outright answer your question, it is the most important thing to me is doing my work that God has charged me with, you know, without a doubt. And after that, you know, it's my daughters. I have 2 beautiful daughters, Nyla and Layla. Nyla just turned 5 and Layla is 8 years old, and that is those 2 girls are my drive in my professional and my personal career, and they mean the world to me. You know, they mean the world to me. But I understand as a man and as a father, I have to do certain things in the world to be a better father to them. And writing these books is just something that goes along with it. It comes at a certain expense, but they understand that, and they'll be the ones primarily to benefit from that.
How has being a father helped you mature as an author?
I can't accurately answer that because being a father goes 1 and 1 with me being an author. I didn't aspire to write books, or you know, that wasn't a particular vision that I had for myself in my life. That's just something after my that's why I have this this is my youngest daughter's birthday here. After she was born and bearing witness to that miracle, that was the foundation for my writing, you know. So it's 1-to-1. It's 1-to-1.
All right. Writers are always working on something. Can you tell us what is your next project?
Well, we'll be releasing Who Knows God 2, sequel to Who Knows God, obviously, next month in December, right around the holiday time. And Lord willing, after that, I'm actually working right now. I'm working on Who Knows God is 2 is finished. It's in editing right now, and as we speak, I'm working on my next book, my 4th book, which is titled The Grand Quran. And urban, you know, I'm not going to give too much away about it, but I'm working on actually several projects now, and they'll be released in due time on the website, on the bookcnt.com website.
All right, so I probably don't have to ask you when is it due out, because you already told me. So let me go to the next question. All right. What I like about your body of work is your ability to show how people are interconnected to faith and God in everyday life. You use different characters to tell the story of life. Sometimes it is good and sometimes it is not, but there is always hope. This message is universal, but it is not being heard loudly enough today. Can you touch on who is the main character and what conflicts he or she must overcome in your new book without giving away anything? Do you feel that this is the message in your novel that you want readers to grasp, or did I leave something out?
Okay. Well, the main character in Who Knows God 2 is Tech. Just, you know, it's the same. Well, one of the main characters from the first book, and it's divided equally between 8 characters. So to actually say that he's the main character is not fair. You know, it's 8 characters. You have an aspiring rapper and a father who is on a journey to situate himself and his family in the manner that he sees fit, which is on the contrary to what the people around him see as befitting. And his struggles are the same that the common man faces. You know, you got to get the rent paid en route to accomplishing your dreams, and that is the path of the story. I'm sorry, was there?
Yeah, there was a second question. That was what you were asking. Do you feel that this is the message in your novel that you want readers to grasp, or did I leave something out?
Well, yeah, I mean, definitely want them to grasp the message of or the journey of the main character. Let's just go to the next.
Alright, no problem. Alright, let me action. What books have most influenced your life most?
Well, the Holy Quran, without a doubt, number one. In terms of novels or anything unholy, if you will. I like the Spook Who Sat by the Door. I believe that's the last book that I read. The Spook Who Sat by the Door. The Da Vinci Code was powerful for me. I actually finished. That was the last book that I read before I picked up my pen and started writing. Dan Brown has a remarkable writing style that heavily influenced my the mathematics behind my first book. The Holy Bible. Yeah, you see where I'm going.
Yeah. Alright. If you had to do it all over again, would you change anything in your latest book?
No. No. No, that's one thing. I took the time out to get it right this time, so it's, no regrets.
Your books can be recognized by its artwork, very prolific. Sorry. Who designed the covers, and what do you have in store for your next book?
Let's just go on.
As we wrap up, do you have any advice for other writers?
Follow your dreams. Follow your dreams. Same old thing. As I mentioned earlier, the actual writing process, when you undertake it, you have so many people who just don't share your vision, and the nature of the process is very lengthy, and it's very it requires a lot of patience, and as a writer you just have to embrace that. There's no getting around it. There's no hitting the fast forward button. You have to have a vision, and you have to have the fortitude to stick to that vision, and the strength to manifest it.
All right. As we wrap up, do you have? Oh well, I already said that. Do you have anything specific that you want to say to your readers?
You mean the world to me. You're gonna change my. Well, you have already changed my life. I see people in all walks of life who've read my books, and just the feedback and the positivity that's projected from their read and their experience. It's an experience, you know, to read my books. And when I see people who've undergone that experience and their the way they react to me, it makes it all worth it. It makes it all worth it. So I appreciate your support. I know I'm not the easiest guy to support. I make it, you know, and people know what I'm talking about, because I come out swinging. You know, I don't pull any punches, and I say what I have to say. But for those who stuck with me, I appreciate it, and you're gonna enjoy this next book and all my work to come.
Thank you.
Peace. Thank you.